Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Beard Zone podcast. My name is David. I'm one of the hosts. You know these two guys with me, Theo, Scooter. How we doing today, fellas?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, man.
Pretty
It's
good
a
is an
great,
accurate statement.
yeah. You know, listen. I don't want to overdo it. I'm not amazing. I'm not terrible. I'm doing pretty good. No, I'm feeling great, man. How about you, Scooter?
I'm doing great, y'all, and I'm just glad to be on with y'all again, talking some football. Family's doing good, friends are doing all right. Weather could be a little better. Had some rain, had some overcast. I'm like, is it still nighttime over here? But yeah, I'm ready to talk football with y'all.
Let's talk football, man. There's not a whole lot of football to talk about. We only were blessed with 2 games last weekend, and Scooter.
Blessed. Is blessed the right word?
It wasn't.
I don't know.
It wasn't a blessing. It wasn't a blessing, but yes, Scooter, take your bow, my friend, because you successfully predicted the Super Bowl matchup in the 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The rest of the nation is upset. Me and Theo are absolutely heartbroken. I am still very upset with Dan Campbell for not kicking any field goals whatsoever. And yeah, dude, twice. Like, rip the Band-Aid off, right?
Come on, rip it off.
Rip the
You
Band-Aid
just have
off.
to shake it off.
Don't start, dude.
Hey,
don't start.
Should you make your apology to the people now? Apologize. Not you, Scooter.
Oh,
Scooter has something that he's supposed to be.
Anything. I was 100% right.
No, he was supposed to be wearing something. Tell them what. Explain.
Yeah.
Explain.
So, unfortunately, some shipping got delayed. I will be getting my shirt tomorrow, and I will absolutely wear it on the next episode. It is something I would never wear, ever. And my wife has already claimed it. So, like, after that episode, my wife will be getting my Taylor Swift shirt. All
right. So, me and Dave talked about it. We didn't want to tell you until the episode started, but yeah, because you don't have the shirt yet, you have to do this episode shirtless. So, go ahead.
Yeah.
Are we rated for that? Are we?
No, we're not. Nope.
No, we're not.
False
we
alarm.
are not rated.
People, come back, people. It was a joke.
Where's the
It was
flag?
go.
I got
Don't
a
run
flag
away.
somewhere in here. Hold on a second. Flag.
Don't lose yourself, Scooter.
Yeah,
here we go.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
But unfortunately,
back to the Lions.
Unfortunately, Dan Campbell did not kick the field goal. You're up 24-10. You're in enemy's territory. You have all the momentum on your side. Your offense is clicking on all cylinders. Your defense is doing their job. They're getting Brock Purdy and that explosive offense off the field. And for some reason, you decide, you know what? I don't want to kick a field goal. So you don't kick a field goal. You don't get it. They go down and score. Then you get another opportunity to kick another field goal. And what happens? Doesn't happen.
Don't.
They go right down the field, score again. Now we're in a situation to where all the momentum is now back to the home field advantage. And now, and also, Jared Goff had no help. It looked like he had the Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers out there with all the drop passes.
St. Brown was catching, though. St. Brown was his only catching.
St. Brown was consistent. I will give him that. But Josh Reynolds dropped huge third down and fourth down plays.
He lost that game.
Dan Campbell not kicking the field goal lost the game.
He didn't lose it, but he was one of the reasons.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. But how do you do that? I understand, and everyone's just like, oh, well, this is how the Lions got here. They went for it. This is the percentage of all their success this season. You don't do that in a playoff game. You don't do that in a national championship game or an NFC championship game where you have the momentum. Why are you got greedy and you tried to take? You should have just taken the points. You just should have just taken the points.
So yeah, Sorry, go ahead, Scooter. I'll go after you.
Oh man. So as a leader of people in some form or fashion, I understand that you have to live and die by your decisions. Right? And sometimes those decisions are made on a national stage and you lose. So to that same end, like Dan Campbell, like 100% takes that loss, and he admitted it in his press conference. And when you sit there and you say, "This is what we've done all year, and this is what got us here," got it, check. But you had the opportunity to put up 6 points on a team in which you knew you cannot give them that extra 2 possessions in this case.
No.
Where you could have stopped them. Your defense was doing fine, but you lost momentum. And when you lose momentum to the enemy or your opposition, you do not give them a vote. When you go to war, you don't give them a choice if they want to fight back. You punch them in the face, you bury them, and you move on. In football, you don't give your opponent that time. You don't give them that possession. You put them down as fast as possible. And what we saw in both of these games is they lost momentum 100%. And it was a coaching error in one side, and the other, we'll get to that. But
right.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear Theo's thoughts on that one, though.
So I went through on the roller coaster with this one, guys. I really did. During the game, I was just the same amount as just pissed off and just like completely, absolutely like flabbergasted as to why you would not understood that's your identity, that's who your team is. I get it, but it's just like, why here? Why on the biggest stage? And I think some days passed, and then I was like, you know what? It is their identity. It is how they got here. It is Dan Campbell. It is what the team expects. It's at the end of the day. He told them, "This is what I'm gonna do." That's what he did. He was unflinching, and there's something to that. I was coming around to it. Like, you know what? There's something towards just sticking to your guns. And if Josh Reynolds catches those passes, like, we're having a different discussion. We're like, oh, he's a genius. What if he didn't do that? If he extends that play and it caused them to get a touchdown, and then it's like, well, what if he didn't do that? Everyone's like, wow, what a genius. But at the end of the day, I think Schrager said it right, on Good Morning Football. Man, as a coach, you do not have the luxury of being stagnant, of being like just stick to your guns and do exactly the same thing every time. You have to be water. You have to be fluid. You have to go into every game knowing that it's a different equation that you need to beat this different team. You can't do the same thing every time. You just can't do it. And so what I landed on is, I'm fine with the one time you did it. That's what you do. You whatever. You go for it. You didn't get it. But man, the second time is just an egregious error that I cannot forgive. It's just like, no, like, at this point, it didn't work. Why would you go back to this well? That was wrong. So it's like, I completely get it, Dan Campbell. I still love you. I still think you're a great coach, but I hope you learn from this, because it didn't have to be that way. And now we have the Chiefs and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. And it's not fun.
And no one's happy about that. And the thing about it is, though, is that the Detroit Lions, their faithful fan base is going to support this team moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's a heartbreak. It was such I mean, everyone, I don't even think it was just the Detroit fan. First of all, shout out to those fans, because that stadium was blue. There was a lot of blue in in that stadium, in Levi Stadium. And so when you think of this fan base, they're gonna be there for this team next year. There's no question about that. It just, the heart, the nation's heart, I feel like, outside of being the 49ers fan or a Chiefs fan, right? We all wanted Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions Super Bowl. Like, that's just what we all wanted. outside of Scooter, of course. But congrats on being right. So,
I guess
once,
dude,
just once.
I might throw up. I don't even know if I can move on. But no, it's
You just have to calm down.
no.
Wait,
But
is that? I don't
Yes.
even know
Theo,
that's.
but Theo, you're right, man. So, jeez, Theo, you're right though. You go for it that first time, you don't make it. Okay, fine, whatever. All right, you're up by 14 points or 17 points, I think it was at the time, or whatever it may. I think it was 14. It was 24-10, and so you're up. You go for it. You don't get it. Okay, they go down. They capitalize on that. They score a touchdown. Okay, now you have the opportunity to kick the next field goal, and you don't go for it again. That to me is where you go, okay, what are we doing? This is where the questions start coming in. But it's always, hindsight is always 2020.
It is.
I mean, if he makes those, or if Josh Reynolds catches those, or if the defense continues to hold up just like they were the entire first half, it doesn't matter, right? Because they continue, they move on, they win the game. Detroit's in the Super Bowl. We all, witness history, right? Watching a franchise go to their first Super Bowl. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Shout out to the 49ers. It wasn't a gimme game. They had to fight their way. They had to claw their way back. And although there were some questionable decisions made on the opposing side, it doesn't matter. They, at the end of the day, fought, clawed, and earned that spot in the Super Bowl. And now we get to see Mr. Irrelevant try and take down the king of the NFL right now, which to me is a storybook within itself, right? Yeah. So, I mean, this kid doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Brock Purdy, if you look at his stats alone, I want to say it was Steve Smith who said if you look at his stats alone, you would call him a top 5 quarterback. But because of the name Brock Purdy, he doesn't get that recognition. Oh, yeah, he's a good quarterback. Game manager, as Cam Newton would say. But if you look at his stats, if you look at his winning percentage, he's a great quarterback, and he's now proven now in the NFL, 2 seasons back-to-back in the NFL to the national championship game. Let's not forget about last national champion, or I say national champion, NFC championship. NFC championship game. Mm-hmm. So last NFC championship game, if he doesn't get hurt, what's the outcome of that?
Oh, they win 100%.
Yeah,
right.
I think they win.
So this is a rematch of the Chiefs and the 49ers from just a few years back. This was the Chiefs' first Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes that they won. And now I'm seeing all this stuff from George Kittle about how he's saying, I'll be back here, and when I'm back, I'm going to come with vengeance. And he even said on the sideline to one of his teammates, I don't know who he was talking to, but he talked to him, and he was just like, I can't wait at the end of the game when I can say they had us in the first half. Like he said that on the sideline prior to them coming back.
Yep.
So this guy is just speaking stuff into existence, man. I would love to see George Kittle get a ring. I would love to see the Kyle Shanahan get a ring. I would love to see Brock Purdy get a ring. So I mean, like, this is definitely the team of, this is the team that everyone is rooting for, right? Because Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not even Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce anymore. It's Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs that none of us want to see host a Super Bowl or, win a Super Bowl. And so, I mean, it is what it is. But on the flip side, I mean, if they win, that's a big thing for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, I got 2 things.
Go ahead.
I got 2 things. One, George Kittle was like a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy was the last dude drafted. Kyle Shanahan is doing things with that team that
it's crazy.
Are unmeasurable. I say that because like he's taking like the Bill Belichick approach, taking these guys out of nowhere, undrafted, lower in the tree of draft, right? And winning. and not just winning, but like owning the NFC. Like Christian McCaffrey was a number 1 draft pick, but he didn't draft him, right? You also have this thing in the NFL and all the fan base that just like, oh, it's Taylor Swift. Okay, get over it. She's dating Travis Kelce, and we just need to move on.
Yeah.
Like, got it, whatever. They're gonna
Tell the cameraman.
They're gonna pan to her because it's all about money, right? You're gonna get the Swifties, you're gonna get the money, but like Travis Kelce balled out in that game.
He did.
Like a low game for him is like 80 yards and 1 touchdown, which is insane. And he's a tight end. So like Patrick Mahomes is still number 1 as far as the QB tree goes in the mountain of Patrick Mahomes, right? But I think Brock Purdy really needs to be put in like the second tier under him because he's playing like Joe Montana winning a Super Bowl. Now we still have to wait for the Super Bowl and watch how it plays out and everything else. It's a team sport, y'all. It's not just one dude. You can't tell me the quarterback's a game manager when he's putting 4,000 yards on. That's not a game manager. That's a leader.
Point.
That's a straight up leader. And Brock Purdy proved that when he was running for like 20-something yards multiple times. Now, someone's probably going to fact check me and say he only ran 20 yards once. But still, he put up like 50 yards in the second half for rushing. And like, oh, Brock Purdy can actually run. Well, yeah. He just told the Lions, hey, guys, I'm here, and I'm going to win it for us.
Yeah.
He's listen, I can't. I'm very, very confounded in this Super Bowl. It's a very difficult situation I've been placed in as a Rams fan because I can't bring myself to cheer for the 49ers. I can't do it. I just hate them. I hate them so much. So I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, and I hate to cheer for the reigning champions too. I love an underdog.
Theo, don't do it to me.
Are they an underdog? Are they?
The 49ers?
The Chiefs.
No. The Chiefs are not the underdog. I'm saying, I say I love to cheer for an underdog. But I'm not picking. I'm just not gonna pick a team. Like I told you guys when on Sunday, like I'm gonna watch the game because it's football, but I don't know. I can't have a dog in this race because I don't know if I want either team to win. Can they just tie? Can the game just never end and they just like tie for infinity? Because I don't want to see Mahomes win and I don't want to see the 49ers win. So like I'm between a rock and a hard place. But even with all that, I give Purdy his due. Purdy 100% has earned all the accolades that he has gotten. Dude is good. He's legit. He's the real deal. Let's stop questioning him for the love of God. Like this, like, come on, it's enough. Like he is a legitimate quarterback. Who cares? Every quarterback is a system quarterback. Everyone.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, yes, Mahomes is great. Mahomes is wonderful. Guess what? There's a reason why Mahomes was not considered to be a top prospect. In college, he had a wild arm. In college, he threw interceptions. In college, it was big, but it was uncontrolled. He went into the right system and became Mahomes. Who knows what he would have been had he gone anywhere else? We don't know. Guess he's a system quarterback. So, like, let's get the system talk out and, like, judge each of these guys by what they do on the field with the team that they got. That's all we can do. Purdy is legit. He's the real deal. Let's stop questioning it.
Purdy is definitely legit. He's the real deal, and he deserves all the flowers of getting this team back. Well, he didn't get them back to the Super Bowl, but he got them back to the NFC Championship game last week, and he ended up, finishing the job this time around. Got him to the Super Bowl. Now I know that he has, the chip. And the fact that, like, Nick Bosa came up to him and was just like, man, can you believe that you're playing this good? And he's just like, I can play better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that's a dog. Like that to me shows that he's confident in himself. He's confident with the system that he's in, and he believes in himself and he believes in the team around him. And I think that people are going to feed off of that, so it's going to be incredible. Now
Historic,
let's flip
man.
over to the AFC. Will Lamar Jackson ever win a championship game? Because the 2 playoff wins that he has right now is against a rookie quarterback and against Ryan Tannehill.
The AFC is so loaded, though.
It's
Like, look at the AFC North.
But someone has to be able to come out outside of Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow has proven that he can beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoff. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, the other 2 top quarterbacks there, have not done that.
yeah.
And we want to continue to give Lamar Jackson his flowers, and he's played well. He's played great this year, and he's definitely a for sure candidate for the MVP. But if we look at him, if you're a Ravens fan, are you happy with the future of that franchise with Lamar at the helm?
I'm scared. I'm scared as a Ravens fan. I'm like at the end of the day, like not unhappy, but like
Okay.
I think scared is the fear because it's like, is this guy ever gonna get the monkey off of his shoulder? Like is he gonna be able to figure this out? Like at the end of the day, like it's like what I said before. We're entering a time now where it seems like Mahomes is starting to build this big bad wolf kind of persona, and he is the guy that, you know, you're just not gonna beat me. And even if you beat me in the regular season, I'm gonna come back in the post and I'm gonna just do whatever I want. And then like that's the thing that I hated so much about the Brady led Patriots. It's just like teams I would just be like, just beat him, like just don't allow him to dink and dunk to Edelman and Gronk down the field and come back on you. Like, why? Like, why would teams constantly allow this man to bring his team back from the brink? I'm like, do you have no shame, sir? Do you have no, like, where is your pride? Because I'm just like, this guy, like, a guy, he can just lord it over you like, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than your whole team. I'll do whatever I want, whenever I want. And Mahomes is starting to be that. And it's just like,
Yeah.
where, like these teams got to find that fire, man. You got to find that fire because it's like, that's what football is about. You got to beat this guy and you can't allow this guy to dominate you. So listen, Lamar, I give him all the credit in the world for what he did this season. Great season, but you need to play the same way in the post and bring that same fire in the post. Now, it's not just Lamar. There's more to it. Zay Flowers, that punch out right at the goal line. Like,
That was rough.
Big turning point in the game. Huge turning point in that game.
It's all the rule.
Yeah.
You got to have ball security.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't think anyone's arguing that. It just sucked. You know, I mean, like...
Yeah, that was horrible.
Just, I mean, hell of a play by Snead, though. I mean, you
great.
have to... I mean,
amazing
dude,
play. Amazing
what a play by him.
Solid defense.
It's
very solid. That's something that this Chiefs team, I think, gets overlooked because of the offense and Patrick Mahomes. This defense now is probably the best that Mahomes has ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all. I straight up told you guys in the last episode,
right,
this team was clicking to the point where it was like, they are the hot team.
Yeah.
Buffalo was the hot team coming into the playoffs, and they got stopped in the second half due to adjustments. Andy Reid is fantastic at just out-coaching people. Shanahan is fantastic at it because of his dad, and he learned and everything else. If you're the Washington Redskins or Commanders now, and you have all these head coaches, and you're looking at your tree from like 2015, and you're going, oh, man, we got something. But like the AFC to me has like the most elite talent at the quarterback level that can understand competition. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, it's stellar. Yeah, absolutely stellar. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Jimmy Garoppolo when he's healthy. You got Joe Burrow.
And watch out for Justin Herbert with now
Justin
Harbaugh.
Herbert, absolutely.
Did you say Stroud just now?
Stroud, I was getting there.
Oh.
The list goes on and on and on.
I just didn't know you said it.
You said that too.
It was like,
to me,
make sure.
To me, the AFC absolutely comes down to how the team is coached and how you make those adjustments. If we watch the Dolphins and Chiefs, we watch the Chiefs and the Bills. It's all about adjustments. If you just straight up say, hey, here's the play, go ahead and go forth and do great things, you get wild card scenarios like the shootout in 13 seconds, like we had, 2021, I think?
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago.
Chiefs. It's like touchdown. There were more touchdowns scored in the last 4 minutes of that game than there were the whole game. And it was like, okay, cool.
It was insane.
This is great TV. But at the same token, the AFC to me has the tightest gap in talent with the widest gap in coaching. The NFC has the tightest gap in coaching with the players having to execute being the bigger gap.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, for instance, 49ers in the only difference between Mike Tomlin and Mike McCarthy is a few wins, barely. Tomlin has him in the regular season, but McCarthy has him in the playoffs for wins. They both have one Super Bowl. One's considered elite, and the other one's considered chump. So, we really have to understand the dynamics here. And when you look at teams in the playoffs, you have to look at them holistically. The Chiefs absolutely have probably the better secondary. Actually, they do have the better secondary. Let's be real. They have the Ravens missed out on the golden opportunity and just run the ball. The Chiefs do not have the best run defense. Now, Chris Jones was coming out and playing like a beast, and so was it Gay and their other linebacker. His name eludes me, but you're not going to be able to run the ball on the 49ers. Let's be real. The front four and Greenlaw and Warner in the middle, you're not doing that. They are going to eat you alive. But the secondary for the 49ers is where Patrick Mahomes is going to thrive. They were eaten alive by Goff, and then somehow they failed to adjust their offensive plan, and Shanahan adjusted in the second half for defense. Your failure to coach is your failure to adjust. Your failure to succeed in the playoffs is your failure to adjust.
Yeah, and I mean,
beautifully said.
I think that's what's going to come down to the Super Bowl ultimately. Honestly, it's Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan, and I don't know who to pick. And we'll make our picks next week for the Super Bowl episode. But I mean, but you know what? We gotta, we gave flowers to Brock Purdy and everything that he's been able to do. You also have to give flower to Patrick Mahomes and what he's been able to do consistently over the last several years.
He's
and
so
the fact
ridiculous.
That, and I know everyone doesn't want to, be happy about it, or they're just annoyed with it because if it's not their team consistently in there, then it has to be different teams every year. But that's just not how it's been in the NFL. We had Brady, and I mean, if you look at the history of the NFL, it's really been kind of the same teams and the same, franchises consistently year in and year out in the playoffs, and then ultimately, obviously, one just kind of makes it. And then every once in a while, you get a odd year where, you have your Cinderella run, or you have, an kind of an odd Super Bowl that, no one really kind of saw coming. But Patrick Mahomes being able to do what he's done over the course of these playoffs, going on the road, everyone was just like, oh, he can't, can he win on the road? Yeah, he can. He's been able to make really good situations happen, even with an offense that honestly doesn't have the talent that he's had over the last several years, outside of Travis Kelce, of course. But I mean, look at his wide receivers. Now MVS has kind of shown up randomly in big moments, it seems like, for him. Seems like he's kind of like his security blanket when it comes down to kind of making big plays and crunch time moments. But I mean, shout out to Patrick Mahomes and what he's been able to do. And everyone is, kind of wanting to compare him to Tom Brady and everything else like that. I mean, that's just going to happen. That's just what the media does, just to kind of stir the stories. But I mean, honestly, man, Patrick Mahomes, he's the best quarterback in the NFL, and we can't deny that. He's just that good. And he can very much win his third Super Bowl in 5 years.
Absolutely.
Next weekend. So
absolutely,
it's going to be it should be a fun game to watch. But let's kind of switch it up a little bit. I mean, we're going to kind of keep this episode a little bit shorter. And let us know, hey, if you guys right now, if you guys are either coming up upon us or you guys have been frequently watching us, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. That helps us out a lot in what we're trying to build here. So we definitely appreciate all your support.
Mm-hmm.
Leave us your comments for any of your Super Bowl predictions as well. But there's been some head coaching vacancies that have been filled.
Mm-hmm.
Some have been a little surprising. There's been some offensive and defensive coordinators that have been filled as well. Everyone look away if you are a Najee Harris, fantasy owner right now, because Arthur Smith is in control of that offense, and I don't understand that. I don't understand that hire at all. I just don't.
So
oh my god!
Yeah, yeah.
Did y'all not learn?
Scooter,
Did you just forget the whole 2023 season? What? And if you're a Falcons fan, I just want you to pay attention to Raheem Morris's tenure for the Bucs. That's what you're gonna get, 100%. He's an excellent coordinator. We tackled this subject before. Some guys are excellent coordinators and terrible head coaches. Now, Arthur Smith can probably prove if he's worth even coordinator job. Doubtful. But I don't even understand that hire. I know we're just three dudes talking football, but that just doesn't make sense.
So I actually got there's this guy that I follow on Twitter or X or whatever, and he actually had another take. He had another take. He said he likes the hire. The first and only person I've ever seen to say, and he was like, don't kill me, internet, but I do kind of like this hire. And he talked about, he skipped over Arthur Smith's tenure in Atlanta and jumped back to his tenure in Tennessee, and talked about his time with the Titans and Corey Davis, AJ Brown, and Derrick Henry. How in that offense he was able to get the guys that needed the ball to have the ball, and how he did scheme up plays like for his guys to make big plays, and for Corey Davis and AJ Brown to have over 200 targets in a season combined, and all of these type of things. And it goes back to what you said. It goes back to what you said, Scooter. I think it's. I'm not saying it is, because trust me, man, I've hated Arthur Smith for as much as anybody else has as a Bijan owner in fantasy. Oh my God, he has stamped his name on the blackest part of my heart for sure. So I have no love for him. But what this guy was saying made a lot of sense to me, in that I think this team might want to start to have a more lean into that running identity with Najee and Jalen Warren. At the end of the day, Arthur Smith, I think still is a great running back coordinator. I think he's good at that. The reason why Bijan didn't get the ball, I still don't understand. I'll never understand. I don't know why. But at the same time, we can't argue what he did even before Bijan was there with Cordarrelle Patterson, with Tyler Algier, with no-name running backs, and these guys were doing amazing things. Like, he's a great running back schemer, and if the Steelers can get that O-line together, get that O-line right, we might actually see something from them from this. My guess, I'm gonna lean with you, Scooter, and play. My guess is that it's gonna all fall into a million pieces. But I'm just giving the other side of it to say, I guess I do kind of understand if you go through his whole tenure as an offensive coordinator, like there might be something there where the Steelers are just like, we want to run the ball. We at the end of the year, we saw that we have two very, very capable running backs. We want to make that our identity and then open up for some passes to Pickens when it's available. Like, yeah, I can kind of see it. But not really, because Arthur Smith sucks. End of rant.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I guess time will only tell on this hire. I mean, yeah, maybe Najee gets an increase in productivity, because I know that that's been something that it seems like that they've been wanting to try and make their identity. What do you guys think about some of the other hires? You know what hire I do like a lot? I like the OC hire. I forgot what his name was, but he was the OC for the Bengals, and he went to Tennessee. I like that hire a lot. I think that that's gonna do. I think he's going to be a good fit down there, especially with Will Levis. If they try to just make Will Levis the guy down there, and kind of build around him, I think that he'll do good.
Yeah, I like that hire. I think it's. I mean, I don't know if I really feel like it's like a big wave move. It could be an
No.
underrated move that plays out later, but I mean, I think it was a fine hire. Going more offense with that team. You got, like I said, like I always say, it's better to build a team around the quarterback. If they're going all in on Will Levis, then I love it.
That hire seems very peculiar. Interesting. Whatever.
Peculiar.
I'm bad with words. Interesting because they're going all in on Will Levis. I got that, and that's exactly what they should be doing. But they still got to get rid of Tannehill. They still got to understand that dynamic in the offense without Derrick Henry. Keep that in mind, because he kind of did his whole farewell thing with Tennessee in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that shake out? I don't know. I think this is like a roll the dice, see where the cards lay kind of deal for Tennessee. This is the feel it out year coming into 2024. I think it's just a very interesting pick from like a scheming standpoint to seeing what you have versus where you think you can be. It's where I got. I'm kind of like let's see where this plays out type deal for this.
Yeah, fair.
a lot of these coaches, the new head coaches are, it's going to be interesting. I think my biggest surprise, honestly, is Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick are still out there. Bill Belichick, maybe not as much.
Yeah. I was going to say,
but
Belichick.
I feel like Mike Vrabel should have been picked up.
Mm-hmm.
He might go to the Chargers with Harbaugh.
As what?
Just a coordinator.
Huh.
Or twist of fate here for the Bucs. We can Todd Bowles. We start over with Vrabel.
That would be your ideal scenario.
Like, who's left besides Todd Bowles? We lost the offensive and defensive coordinator, I think.
Dude, no.
Dan Quinn.
No.
Oh God,
I hear he's going to the Commanders.
No.
That's what I heard.
Well,
I don't like it.
You know what? That suits him really well. That franchise fits that.
Might play out because their only gap, I think, was defense. Because offensively, they were fine. I think Howell was in the top 3 for passing yards.
Was good.
Yeah, he was doing. Looking at replacing, it's insane. Dude can put up like 3,500 yards and be like, whatever. I think the Commanders
replacing him.
Unfortunately.
To touch the Commanders real quick, I think they need to tackle their coaching staff and their ownership and get the culture established before they start dropping in new bodies into uniforms. I think they have a young team with talent with the right mindset. I think they just need to get the coaching behind it.
Well, they traded away their whole defensive line, so.
Yeah, when they traded away Chase Young and Montez Sweat, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so
and Chase Young left, and like
they're gonna be a couple of years away from any kind of competing, I think, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, man,
playoffs they'll be fine because apparently Dallas can't win. So they can. Apparently, the Eagles.
We all know. Just anything in the NFC East.
Yeah.
So
roll the dice.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, pick your poison. So, but Time will always tell for the coaching tree and how everything fits out. I think we kind of touched on it earlier, Theo. You touched on it about it being a scheme. It has to be that perfect marriage. It has to be that perfect marriage between the head coach and all of his coordinating, and then the talent that they have on the field, and being able to kind of merge it to where it fits that person and that skill set perfectly. I feel like that's going to be where you find the most success at. So, of course, it helps when you have a talent like Patrick Mahomes, or if you have, an IQ of, coaching like Kyle Shanahan. That's obviously going to play a little bit of a role, if not a good amount of that role, as far as your success. But I think it just has to be that perfect marriage. People have to buy into the system. People have to buy into the culture that you're trying to build. That's why I think that Jim Harbaugh in Los Angeles with the Chargers and Justin Herbert, I think it's going to be a great fit. I'm really, really excited for Justin Herbert. I've been a fan of his since he's been, coming out of Oregon. And, I just hope he's successful this year. Before we wrap this episode up, we don't have to touch long on it, but are you guys watching the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I miss the Pro Bowl. I miss the true Pro Bowl. I miss when they go to Hawaii, and they still did the
tackle.
They still did like the talent, games and everything, the skill position games and everything.
It's all coming back. Eli Manning was on, I believe, with the Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about them bringing back the skills and everything else and showing. It's like, think of it this way. They're bringing back the skills stuff to show that these are professional athletes at the top of their game. It's like if you took average Joe and put him in the 100-meter race with Usain Bolt. That's what they're probably going to be showing. Like, they want to show dodgeball game and just watch dudes just pelt each other and play these like accuracy games and deep ball games. I would love to, like, everyone rags on Brock Purdy about not having a strong arm and everything else, but it's all about ball placement. So can you hit like a paper plate at 50 yards? That's what I want to see. And then go put some dude from the stands who's been chugging beer for the past 6 hours. Be like, yo, go do the same thing.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Or what was it, the Gronkowski kick of destiny? Go get.
It's coming back.
Pat McAfee did this on College Game Day. Kick this 30-yard field goal and we'll give you $100,000. The kid missed. I was like,
yeah.
Put me out there. I'll go do it right now. I probably would miss too, but I want to try it. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Chance for $100,000. I'll try my fair share.
Get like 3 dudes to like race Tyreek Hill. Just in the 40.
Right, dude.
He would run backwards and he'd still beat them. I want you to go. What was it? There was a meme. It was like, try to prevent DK Metcalf from catching a ball for $10 million or just taking $100,000. I'd be like,
dude,
that's tempting.
What's that one drill called where you both lay on your back and then you get up and then Oklahoma.
Those,
dude,
I think
get an average Joe doing the Oklahoma drill with Saquon Barkley, bro.
Oh,
and they're
my
dead.
God.
They're dead.
Yeah. Like, it's
even retired St. Louis, and you have to run the ball past him.
You'd still kill you, man.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? Yeah. I would sign up for it, man.
How about this?
100%. I'd sign up for each and every last one and get destroyed.
I would absolutely sign up until I just couldn't walk anymore.
Oklahoma drill against Max Crosby.
Oh,
jeez.
Yeah, right. Not gonna happen.
And
I missed the Pro Bowl though. I want the Pro Bowl where it was Sean Taylor, man. When Sean Taylor was
he was
100% every single game.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy.
I'm not slowing down.
He had no off button.
No
off button. I'm going to be watching it just simply because I know that we're coming to an end to this NFL season, and it's bittersweet, right? We get to watch the pinnacle game, right, where we're like, who's going to win it? Who is going to be crowned this year's Super Bowl champion? But it quickly goes to, oh yay, oh okay.
Oh,
Now we
no,
have
no.
months and
Yeah.
months and months of no football. So, but that's just the cycle. This
Yeah,
is where it comes. But
comes
another
and
great
goes.
season, another all the storylines and everything else like that. And we've been here every single week to talk about it, and we are going to continue to do so even during the off season. I know last off season we took a little bit of a hiatus. I don't know what the plan is this year. We'll kind of address that though here in a couple weeks, though, after the Super Bowl. But big things to continue to come. Hey, again, if you guys have made it all the way to the end of this episode, that's huge. Shout out to you. Give a little bit of fist bump. Boom, boom. All right, because seriously, that is the best way to support this channel. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down on what maybe things that you want to see in this podcast. We're continuing to try and grow it and kind of evolve this as we are going. We definitely appreciate you guys, all of your support. Share it with your family and friends, all of co-workers of all NFL and college football fans that because that is going to be the best way to support us. So, but we definitely appreciate you guys. And I think Scooter, I almost said it. I almost called you by your government name, but Scooter, I think that he has our socials, so I'll let him take it.
As always, Dave, as always. Yeah, we got the Beard Zone Podcast at gmail.com. We got Facebook at the Beard Zone Podcast. We got Twitter at the Beard Zone Pod. And we got Instagram at the Beard Zone Football Podcast. And you can reach us out on any of those. We are very interactive. I'm pretty sure that we've got some banter on some Facebook comments about, who cares? Well, guess what? We do. And you know what? We'll talk to you. Same thing on Twitter. We put up polls, we put up comments, we put up all this stuff. We tag other people on Instagram. We're trying to be different. We're trying to put the different reels out there. You got some ideas, shoot them to us. We're all about it. And there might be some changes. There might be some Easter eggs and all that stuff. So just stay tuned. That's all we're asking. And like Dave said, hit the share, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Share with a friend. Word of mouth goes real far.
Love it.
We're just trying to break the algorithm. That's all we're trying to do. And we love y'all for listening.
Come on. Help us break it.
Help us break it. All of that will be also down in the description for all the links to all of our socials and everything else like that. So definitely go ahead and follow us there. Until next week, guys. Next week, big week next week, Super Bowl. We get our Super Bowl predictions. Scooter's going to be wearing a Taylor Swift shirt. I don't know what we're going to be wearing.
I will bring the reputation.
Maybe we should all wear a shirt of some type.
You know what?
Dave would disown
Theo,
us if he does that.
Theo first of all, if I'm not wearing a Taylor Swift shirt, not so ever. No. I don't think Theo was. We all know what Scooter's going to be wearing next week. It's going to be that T Swift. It's going to be that T Swift. David, Theo, I don't know. Maybe we'll wear something else. Maybe
tune in next week and find.
Tune in next week. The suspense. We're gonna leave a little bit of a cliffhanger here. So, but we'll be back next week, Thursday, 11 a.m. I mean, every single week, man. We're just boom, boom, boom. Also, next week, college episode. Me and Scooter will be breaking down. What position are we going over?
We're going to go over wide receivers there, Dave.
Wide receivers. Deep class this year. So Tuesday next week, we are going to be dropping that. So go ahead and keep an eye out for that. But until next time, guys.
Beard Zone out.